Welcome back, everyone, and thank you all for tuning in. We're here with the Mangolini from Fennec Genetics on week 12 of flower on harvest day. So we're going to chop this girl out and take a look at some of the flower as we go, just like we did the last two videos, and show you guys some of this canopy. We're going to pop this light out here and take a closer look at some of this crazy flower. Once we start working our way through it, we're going to pop our head in now and see if we can see any of this. Check our trichomes while we're at it. So if you don't have a jeweler's loupe on hand, or if you have one and you just find it a little hard to use and a little bit troubling, the steady hand in the camera on your phone works as well. So just taking a look at some of the trichomes, you can see on the fan leaves we might see a little bit of amber, but that stuff's getting cut off anyway. So we're looking at the flower, the actual flower, and it looks mostly cloudy. I don't see too many amber heads, and I don't see too many clear ones. So we're right where we want to be in terms of our trichomes. So I don't mind a little amber, so for me, that I don't mind that either, but we're in that perfect harvest window. So there she is. Actually, we'll turn off the light now and take a look at it. See if we can get this in. Turn off the light in the background. And zoom in again. See if that makes a difference or helps it up at all. So, about the same, everything's looking pretty good. So there she is. Zoom back out. That's a pretty big one there. So that's one way of doing it. Take a look at the canopy now while I have the light off. See, she's faded quite a bit. So some foxtailing, but that's environmental foxtailing going on. You can see quite a bit of chlorophyll has been pulled from the fan leaves already. Some of it's a little close for comfort for me, but we'll just have to do a little bit better job when we're trimming those all up by hand. I don't like to have some of that stuff too close or miss any of it when it gets close to the flower. So, and that also kind of tells me that we don't have a crazy buildup in our medium, so we're going to go ahead and reuse that either for our outdoor garden and or for the next grow. So I don't have to worry about anything we throw into that soil. It's going to cook right away, just start fresh. Can even amend the soil to the way we want it, how we like it, and then start all over. So that one's going to be a little difficult, a little fun, but it's just crazy all throughout. So we've had our light turned down for a little bit. That'll kind of help so we can pack it away. It's not too hot, too crazy. Throw it in our package or in our box that it came in. Get that all out of the way and all cleaned up. So quick zoom out, kill the light. There she is. One last look at her on the 2x4. This thing is a monster. I'm gonna have to get a bigger 10. So, alright, we'll see you guys shortly. I'm gonna get to it. And we're back. So, just working our way through. We got this first little bit out. I just wanted to share with you guys just how crazy some of this growth is. And just a little bit of that light and a little defoliation went a long way in here. And just some of that potential still left. If I had thrown this in a bigger tent or a little bit of under canopy lighting, obviously we'd have to match that with better airflow and just even overall better environment of what we could pull out of here. So like I cut this side out, and I didn't even know this was all back in here still, so that's crazy. I could see some dead stuff in there, but yeah, so some of it we didn't even see, didn't even see the light of day, totally lost. We didn't even know it was in there, so this is full of surprises in here as we keep going through, but just to give you guys an idea of the stretch you could expect when growing some of these sativa dominant landrace hybrids and such types. We're just going to start right down there, and we're going to follow this stem. So it's between the first trellis and the second is about a foot. And we see the flower, and then keep going all the way up. We got that big cola right there. And from that trellis all the way to the light's about 3 feet. So when we ran out of space, so yeah, it's about the same size it was in veg. That's what it did. It matched that when we flipped it to flowers. So another thing I'm focusing on is even some of these smaller lower branches that you see that most people will chop and get rid of, and how thin they are. Some of them have come up and come through and turned into some of these monsters. So curious to find out which ones they are and explore more as we go through. So where does this one go to? It's just crazy. I'm wasting time here just trying to find out what's connected to what and where. But we'll find out soon, and I'll share that with you guys when we get there. Totally forgot what else I was going to say. It's something else on my mind. But there you have it. Let's get back to it. Alright, we're back for a quick minute. So just to kind of share what I was saying earlier. So this one right started right about down here. And if we follow it all the way up, you can see it turned into this huge flower right here. So most people would trim that off early, and yeah, so we kept it, and it came out all the way up here. Hopefully it doesn't snap before I get it out, and then another one down, all the way down here. And as we go up, it came all the way through, up the center of the canopy, and behind here. And another one, see if we can follow this one all the way down. So it started right about here, comes all the way up. It's that big guy, right there. So, humble beginnings. See if we can get a light on that. See where it started, all the way down here. Come all the way up and through. There we have it. So I'm going to cut a couple of these out, a couple more, and just get a better look at some of them close up there and finish up. So this guy over here, just massive, stacked all the way down, especially those main ones. Let's see here. So, still a lot to go. Alright, we're pretty well back the following day. Didn't get it all done until the early hours of the morning when the sun started coming up, so didn't get much sleep. So we're taking this now pretty much the following day. So got everything hung up, chopped, hung as much as we could. You can see it's all evenly spaced out. Notice we don't have any fans in here at the bottom. Got to clean all that up. So I'm just going to go over this really quickly on what I've been doing during this whole drying process. Now that it's all hung up and it's drying, and we're drying this much flour in such a small space. So a lot of people will notice, you'll try and dry, you'll see, crazy grows, and they got some fans going and AC units and stuff like that. And that's great, and it works well. But we're not some big, huge, crazy commercial grow and stuff like that, and we're not like jam-packed, wall to wall, and these things aren't all like really pressed together. They're in there pretty good. Don't get me wrong, but we did our best to have everything nice and spaced apart there, so we can still get plenty of airflow in between all our flour. And we're gonna keep checking that. So what we've done is we've taken out our fans altogether, and stay with me on this one. We've taken out our fans, and we've only been running our 4-inch exhaust, even with this much flour in this tiny little tent. Now here's the catch. As I've had this tent door open, trying to record a video for you guys, the humidity started to climb, and I want to get this down to 60% and or a little bit lower. I'd be happy with a 58% relative humidity. A little bit colder wouldn't hurt too, but there's nothing I could do about that because I don't have an AC unit and stuff like that. So throughout the day, I've been checking it out, whenever I can, once in the morning, and I've been adjusting my 4-inch intake because I've turned it down quite a bit, and I've been slowly turning it up to keep the humidity down, because if this starts to climb up, and right now there's no air movement, we're not pulling anything out, so it's kind of stagnant air. It's something that you don't want in this phase of drying. Sorry, I'll just show you guys the flour while we're talking. So it's kind of what you don't want. So you do want plenty of airflow going through, but too much, and you'll notice these top colas will start to dry out too quick, and that's perfectly normal. It happens whether you're hanging the plant whole or doing it branch by branch. If it's drying too fast, you'll notice these flowers will dry out way too quickly. You'll notice in the first 24 hours, the volume of them, they'll reduce, they'll shrink. That wet weight will start to dissipate. 24 hours, you're drying too quick. 48 hours, you're right where you want to be. So throughout the day, I've been slowly increasing my inline fan to kind of bring that down, because we want it to dry low and slow for as long as possible. If it climbs any higher than 65%, I may need to add an additional fan, just something with a light breeze blowing the lowest setting possible. Just to lower that relative humidity and get that air moving around the tent and the flower, so we get that lower the slow dry and eliminate any chance of mold or mildew, bud rot, stuff like that from occurring. So what else? So I'll take a look down below and I'll show you guys underneath here. You can see just how packed in it is. But once we see that volume, like the flour will reduce in size, it'll shrink. That volume will, the flour will get a little bit smaller. We'll have a little bit more airflow in between. So we got everything nice and spaced apart. I mean, if it takes any longer than 48 hours, we start going into 72. Then I might want to think about increasing our airflow a little bit more to meet that 7-day window. If we're looking for a 7, I don't want to go for a 2-week cure. That's a little bit tricky, or dry, sorry. But yeah, so going through another little thing I like to do, instead of like a branch test to tell when it's dry and ready, I like to check the flour. So I'll take a flour, any flour, and I'll just give it a little squeeze. And this has a lot of moisture. I'll see how it bounces back. Over time, you'll notice as you get better with it, the top of the colas will start to dry out first, and then, as the moisture and everything starts to leave the branches, this lower half will be a little bit wet. So I'll squeeze maybe a couple up here, for example, see how they are. And I'll squeeze these ones down here, kind of get a happy medium between the flour. And when it feels like it's ready to pretty well go into a grinder, it could use like a day or two or something in a, just dry out just a little bit more. That's when I want to get it ready to cure. So usually we'll land in that 54 to 62, 58, 54 to 62% relative humidity when we go into our cure. That's what we like to see. Anything a little bit lower, we might chuck in a Bovita pack here and there just to bring it up and then take it out and let her work her magic for the next 2 weeks to 2 months. I mean, that's when it really kind of pays. Bare minimum, I'll go 2 weeks, and then 2 months is just perfect. So, yeah. I hope that kind of helps some of you guys out. There's so much more we could go into, but we're going to wrap it up. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you all with the harvest results when she's all done. So, until then.